the single player campaign, so I thought I would do a very quick playthrough of the first mission. I will say, new players, you should be doing the wizard training before you do anything else. This is essential to doing well in the single player campaign because it teaches you how to do combat. So without further ado, let's go for it. I'm starting afresh. Just as any other new player would be, I'm going to choose a Chaos Staff because it'll give me a greater chance of getting undead. And the AI, certainly the early AI, doesn't do so well versus undead. And I'll go with the Vigilant Body Gear because it'll help me stay alive. I'm going to be playing the game in Chaos mode, which I'll talk about in a moment. If I was playing it in Law mode, I'd probably go for Heroic Body Gear because you can then use your wizard to take out opponents with a known amount of risk. Whereas in Chaos mode, there's always risk whenever your wizard can be attacked that you could just lose the fight. Okay, there's a nice introduction here. It has lots of story, but because I'm trying to get through this quickly, we're not going to read any of it. As I said, I'm going to play Chaos mode battles because that seems to be the mode that people are having trouble with. Law mode battles, I feel, are actually better suited for Realms play. It means that your NPCs are more likely to stay alive, or if you choose to risk them, then you know what you're getting into. In Law mode, all of the combat is deterministic. So whenever something attacks something else, the attack strength is compared with the defense strength, and a known number of hit points are removed. So you always know what the outcome of a given combat's going to be. In Chaos mode, it's all down to rolling the dice and doing stuff to manipulate your chances of winning and mitigating your chances of failure. The same's true of spellcasting. As I said, I'm going to play in Chaos mode so that you can see how that works. Normally, I would be reading through all of these delicious story parts and agonizing over the choices. And you definitely should, because choosing the right things when you're presented with options will help you win the realm. But I have read all these before, and it's going to be no fun for you listening to me reading them all out, so I'm just going to click on through them and get through this as quickly as I can. Okay, so here I can choose gold or knowledge. I choose knowledge. The game's explaining that this is a citadel. The enemy will get more reinforcements, so each fight they'll start with more allied creatures for every citadel that they control. So we're going to attack that, which will make the rest of the realm easier to play. But before we do that, we're going to choose an ally. I'm going to choose an elf because they have high magic resistance, which is a big deal in Chaos mode because the AI really likes to magic attack any of these decent creatures, and the elf has the best chance of surviving that. Okay, let's fight. So I have 2 mana sprites here, and I don't want the enemy wizard anywhere near those, so I'm going to move up as far as I can and cast things. We want to stay 2 hexes, which is the enemy movement range, outside of this purple zone with my wizard, because otherwise I can get bolted and lose the game. Let's play extra aggressively. Let's just try and get this done. I'll burn a couple of cards and try for a turn 1 unicorn, which at 71% can happen, and has happened. Versus a human opponent or a cleverer AI, that would be more of a risky proposition, but level 3 AI is making me feel quite ballsy. That's a shame. Okay, let's cast a fake skeleton and back off. And then we won't get attacked by this eagle. That is unfortunate. So let's let's do that. And I'm using the skeleton to block to protect the elf because we really want the elf to stay alive, because that'll come with us on every mission we go on until we lose it. I think we'll try for another unicorn. And this time it's not happening. Well, the AI is really enjoying its eagles at the moment. So let's back the elf off so it can't be attacked, and cast. Let's cast a boosted hellhound. Ah, which at 70% I really thought might happen this time. So again, hopefully the skeleton's going to keep the elf safe. We can fight our way through these and then go and attack Dane Hall. That's the bigger threat, so I'll try and take that out first, which has worked. And I have a ton of chaos spells, so I'm going to cast Chaos Shift. My opponent has a neutral staff, so it's kind of even odds whether or not that's going to benefit my opponent at all. I'll move around here and try and get this other sprite. Okay, so my skeleton is no use versus, my elf is no use versus the skeleton here, so I'm just going to stay there, and the skeleton, because it's a low-level AI, will step forward in a moment, I hope, and I'll try and kill it with my own skeleton. Meanwhile, I will want to move around this way, and try and cast some more stuff. Wow, 97% fail. This is why some people prefer lore mode. This is kind of annoying, and Dane Hall's going to be quite hard to dig out from there. Wow, this rat's really putting up a fight. So I need to back off, move my wizard up, and let's speculatively try a real one of those. It's at least given me a decent amount of fail mana, and I can now use it to boost these, which I'd really like to work. Oh, this is nice, because I've backed off, Dane Hall's come out from this corner, which I definitely prefer. It was fake. Okay, my elf can be counter-attacked if it fails to make the kill there, so I'm not going to do that. I'll move the elf round here instead, move you up there, and try and make a real vampire, which is going to do very well against all these rats. Now my main worry is going to be, does Dane Hall have a lot of chaos spells? It's not that likely with a neutral staff. The great thing about the lower level AI, that the level 12 will play a little better. The low level AI just sends stuff forwards and doesn't really care that it's all going to die, so it's going to send all these rats over here and I'm going to eat them all, and my vampire is going to become much more powerful. In fact, I'm going to cast another vampire, and yep, hope the same is going to happen. And back off a bit more. I think I'm going to back off with my elf as well. I want Dane Hall to come out of this corner. I'm just going to leave the skeleton there, because I want the vampires to eat these rats, not the skeleton. Okay, that hellhound is a potential problem. So if I can, I'm going to attack that with my tastier vampire. I can't with that one. I can with this one. Oh, I should attack with the skeleton first. That's not going to happen. Yeah, let's do that. Excellent. Because that's the only thing on the board that's going to be a problem for for my vampire. Meanwhile, I'll try and get a mount. Oh, pass the turn. Okay, I'm tempted to take the attack here and to make my vampire more powerful because I didn't have great odds of killing Danehill there. And then I'll move over here. Right, these rats are delicious. They're doing me a lot of good. Oh, you're going to be engaged, the vampire, probably. So let's cast another Manticore. And I'm not going to take the shot. I'm hoping my vampire is going to get to eat that rat instead. Right, my opponent only has one hit on this Manticore, so if it dies I'll just raise it from the dead, which will be a good thing. Didn't happen. Meanwhile, let's move you over there. Excuse me. And move the elf up. I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid backing Danehill into this corner. And I'll cast an Air Elemental, because that is quite useful. And I'll cast it here. So hopefully it doesn't get attacked next turn. Because this flying stuff can hopefully just fly past any creatures that Danehill puts down here, and then we can just get on and kill him. Wow, fake mount. Gutsy move. Well, nothing's going right this turn. Let's see if we can get another shot out here. Wow. Okay. Conceivably lose this now. That would be embarrassing. Okay, not so much anymore now that I've got that to block any attacks from the zombie. I'm just trying to kill as much stuff as I can. I've done this in the wrong order, haven't I? Finally. Not really going to do anything very useful. Try and get rid of this dwarf. Awesome. Some chance Danehill going to end up with an undead Manticore. That would be a bit of a shame. And the fight's over. Excellent. Okay, so let's click through this stuff and continue exploring. This is another mandatory fight here. I can't go around this, so we're just going to jump straight in. Okay, in ruins we have these chests here. I can get 150 gold per chest, which is kind of useful. But if I'm new to the game, maybe I want to ignore the gold and just go straight for my opponent and beat the realm, which is probably a good thing, because the enemy wizards are more interested in defending the chests than they are in staying alive. So if you're not too confident about your combat abilities, ignoring the chests can be a good thing because it will give you a better chance of completing the realm. I'm going to burn some stuff and try for some more stuff with decent ranged attacks, because I don't have anything particularly tasty in my hand at the moment. Yeah, these zombies aren't really doing it for me. So let's see. Let's perhaps see if I can get a hellhound. Okay, I think in the interests of expediency, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these shots and hope for the best. Okay, I'm almost pleased, because at least I'll get one of these chests now. A lot of structures there. Okay, so my wizard's got the gold there. Excellent, so that's not a bad haul. I get 150 gold, and I get to resolve this fight really quickly. The story that was telling us there that the more of these lords we defeat, the easier it will be to breach the palace later. Okay, we can see another lord and a town over here, but there's nothing I can do with it. So this is a wizard tower. This acts as a spawn point, and it also lets me teleport around the map. I can see I have an elf and a manticore here that I can have as allies, and they're both really good. Here I have an option to sell a tasty-looking amulet for 100 gold, but that's crazy. Amulets are good things to hang on to. We have rumours here. These are almost always worth buying. Because they're cheap and they help you find stuff. Okay, what was this? That was that's going to give me some gold, and I can't remember what that's going to give me. So let's get at least one of these mercenaries. We'll get a manticore, because that's a free mount. It's an absolute bargain for 28 gold. Let's have a look at my current equipment. I've got a fairly decent staff. Boost of 11's nice. Horde of Goblins isn't a great mega spell, but it's fun, and I've got a decent hand size. And my armour has awesome defense, which is exactly what I wanted. Perhaps a slightly small deck size. I haven't got any mana binds. And I've got 2 Valor slots. So let's see what talismans are on offer. I don't really fancy any of those particularly much for the amount that they cost, and I'm quite happy with my stuff and gear, so I'm not going to buy anything else. Let's go and resolve some of these encounters. Okay, so that gets us some gold. Here I can help the poor defenseless goblins, or I can help the giants. The giants might net me a giant ally, but that's just not the way I roll. I have to help these poor guys who are being attacked. So I've got some reputation and some chaos kudos, which I can use to recruit things, and it's cost me a little bit of time. So I'm happy with the outcome there. Now, this guy here I can just ignore and walk around, which is exactly what I'm going to do. He's pulling reinforcements out of the pool of reinforcements, and defeating him is only going to get me some kudos, which I'm not going to need on this map, and some gold, which I feel like I can do without. And the risk in attacking him is that I might end up dead, which will cost me time and gold. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, that was explaining that anytime I do lose a battle, I can respawn from one of these wizard towers. This is explaining about the banishing spell, which is this meter here. When it fills up, I've lost and need to start the realm again. It fills up faster for each of these mana fluxes that the enemy AI controls, and if I capture them, I can start accruing strategic flux mana, which I can use to cast the Breach Palace spell, which I need to do before I can win the game. So this is going to be a priority target for me. So my opponent has a fairly tasty spider ally and a rat, which isn't really much of a worry. And we want to try and deny them these mana fluxes. So I'm going to mount up on my Manticore, move my elf down to threaten that flux, and cast a fake goblin. Oh, I have a free shot on the spider, let's do that. That was rather stupid of me. It's a fake unicorn as well that took out my my Manticore ally. That's a bit sad. That's the the arrogance of playing a low-level AI and figuring out and just wing it. I should have stayed out of attack range. New players stay out of attack range. Let's see if I can get another one. I can. I don't deserve it, but it's letting me get away with it. I have Chaos Shift now. I have 2 of them. That's probably going. That might happen. I'm a bit worried that if I do this, I'm going to end up giving my opponent a lot of easy spell casts. Okay, I have an 11% shot here. I don't have Magic Bolt, so I'm going to have to cast something to. I'm going to cast Illusion Zombies. It's quite unusual, but they're unlikely to be disbelieved and it'll block this goblin's attack. Yeah, I'm just going to keep on pressing the attack, I think. And casting blockers every time the attack fails. Again, a fake dwarf. Highly unlikely that the AI is going to disbelieve it. The lower levels AI does kind of like to get into disbelieving things. Much more than a human player would. But I'm not particularly worried about it. Okay, let's try for a vampire, I think. I don't think that's the meteor shower is much use to me. I'm not sure I can be bothered casting 2 Chaos Shifts either. Let's see where we get to. So I'm relying on the blockers here to keep me safe from a melee attack from Alesta the Fair, but Alesta only has an attack of 10, so it doesn't feel like that great a risk. I'd completely forgotten about my elf. Wow, okay. So I'm going to eat the goblin. Yeah, it's real, so that's going to make my my vampire a lot tougher and keep on shooting you with these things. I'm completely ignoring these sprites because I'm so far ahead now I don't think I'm going to need them. I probably should move. Let's see if I can cast a blocker first. Let's cast another fake one and then hide everything behind it. Okay, I have a decent chance of ending this now. Excellent. And that's explaining that this glowy line around here means that I control this mana flux, and it's going to give me flux mana for my strategic spells, which is something I need to beat the game. Okay, this is why we kept hold of that amulet earlier. And again, always by the rumours, I think, because we actually need to resolve this one to progress the game. Clicky clicky, and now we can use this this village to travel onward. Let's see what we've got in the way of mercenaries. These are both great, so I'll have both of those. Really cheap as well. Or you should, if you can afford it, you should always buy these mercenaries because they'll make the fight so much easier. Later on, we'll find a settlement we can use, which will further improve matters. Not really fancying any of these, so I think we'll just move on. Okay, so my opponent's got a Ratna Dwarf for allies, which aren't particularly worrying. The game is being pretty generous with mercenaries, so I'm just going to move on up and cast things with high movement and hope for the best. Well, that was unfortunate, but it could have been worse. This is why I picked the elf earlier on, rather than the hellhound, because the hellhounds are far more susceptible to these magic attacks. I think I'll maybe being a little too fast and loose here. Let's cast another fake lion. The hellhound is a little bit of a worry there. So let's try and zap it. Excellent, and now I've got a 50% chance to win. Job is done. It's offering me extra elephants here, which I'll certainly have. And then we'll scramble on. This is another mandatory fight here. I could have got an elephant, lion, skeleton, giant spider. Let's see if I can get any talismans. No, I don't need any of that. Okay, this is a Marauder wizard. The Marauder wizard will try and recapture the mana flux and the citadel that we captured earlier, if we let it. So we don't want to. So we'll sit here and wait for it because I don't want to attack it here in the mountains where it can team up with this other wizard. Okay, so I got a ton of stuff here and the Marauder's got nothing, so I'm just going to rush forwards and cast high movement things and push my opponent off the map. And versus a level 1 AI, this will probably serve me fairly well. The vampire's a bit of a problem because it will eat my rats. So I probably want to zap it or cast some undead of my own. Let's begin with trying an Icarus Tower, I think. Because the level 1 AI will disregard it entirely and fly into range and end up dead. Which is definitely what I want. That's a shame. Okay, so we'll move up a little bit and hope for the best. Yeah, I don't want to give it the first attack. So even though my opponent has Staff of Growths, seems to be all about the undead at the moment. Let's see if I can just punch this vampire to death. No, not today. Can I zap these? Yes, I can. It's a fake vampire. Well played, level 1 AI. I did not see that coming. Well, that solves all of my problems. And my opponent's surrounded now. So these allies that I've had from resolving encounters and from buying mercenaries, these are what are making the game easy for me at this level. So you should definitely be doing as much of that as possible. And I have so much stuff now, I don't even particularly care if these things fail. I'm just going to cast some of the less likely things and hope for the best, because it doesn't really matter if they go wrong. That's kind of annoying, but I feel like it's just... So this rat's in the way. I'm going to dispel it for 5 mana and have another go. That didn't work, so I'm going to burn this because I don't need it. Dispel that one for 5 mana. And have a go with my elephant. That is a shame. So I feel like I should probably try and take these trees out now. All of these are permanent creatures, so I don't want to dispel any of them. Let's try taking that out. Excellent. However, the rat I'd be fairly comfortable about dispelling him and put down something else that's useful. Oh, let's just put down a fake unicorn. Mainly to reduce the amount of chaos there is in the game. Because I don't want any hard to cast spells coming out of my opponent right now. That'll certainly do. So he's going to attack with everything now. Job is done. Okay, so that's the Marauder finished. And now we can attack this guy instead. So we could see that. So the number 2 next to the opponent was telling us that it had 2 allies, and it was telling us what they had, but we've got a ton of stuff, so we don't need to worry about those particularly. That said, I don't want to give away the first attack, because each of these creatures will stay with us throughout the game. So it's worth trying to keep them alive. I don't actually want to cast anything this turn. I'm too far away for it to be worth my while casting creatures. Okay. Now that I've got a decent chance of defeating these guys, because again the early AI will tend to rush towards your creatures, so if you just back off a little bit, you can always get the first attack, which is definitely worth having. Again, if in a lore game, if I wasn't casting anything, I'd be accruing more and more mana, and that would be great. And I can afford to do that because I have so much stuff here. This isn't great to be attacking the dwarf with the elephant. Yeah, I didn't really expect it to work. It's potentially a waste of the elephant. And it's a bit of a shame because, the elephant's pretty good. But I'm doing it because it means I can start crowding the Lord of Dragons here and make a fairly swift end to this. Yeah, that's not entirely unexpected. Okay, so I'm going to cast a boosty blob on this dwarf. And then I'll immediately dispel that one because it's in the way. And move on up. And move on. Ah, excellent. Move that guy around. You will not often see Tanglevine come out of the AI. So I'm going to dispel this blob because it's in my way. And now I have a reasonable chance of defeating my opponent, and it's done. Okay, let's have a look around here. Okay, this is the enemy palace. So if I can win this fight, then the game's done. But before I do that, let's have a look around and see if there's anything I can do to help me win the fight. So I just resolved an encounter, and I got a dragon. I'm pretty sure this dragon is only offered to you if you keep the dragon amulet that you had earlier on in the game. So it really is worth reading the encounter text and choosing wisely. And here we have a dragon cave. So because I've been fighting Chaos Wizards previously, I've got loads of lore kudos here, and I can use that to recruit the dragon cave, which I'll do now. I have loads of strategic mana here from Mana Flux, and I'm going to use that to increase the number of dragons this can produce. I'll wait 2 days, breach the palace, and then send all of these dragons to the palace to help me in the fight. These villages here, these are really worth having. They're absolute game changers, because even if you lose the palace fight, provided you can keep hold of this settlement, you can send a whole new batch of dragons in to help you win again, and just keep on doing that until you win the game. So the 3 dragons I get from this settlement here, in combination with the dragon I got here and the mercenaries and the stuff from resolved encounters, will give me a huge advantage in the next fight. So I'm just going to sit here and keep clicking the wait button until I see my 3 dragons. It tells me there are 3 on the hover text. Arrive at the palace. So there's some chance I'll see another Marauder wizard. But that's not really, that's not really a big worry. And it'll also mean that my score will be lower, because I'm kind of nominally wasting time. But really, I'd rather go into the palace fight fully prepared. I'm not playing this to get the highest possible score. Let's cast a defensive structure back here. So really, all of the fights in this realm have been far easier because of all of these allied creatures I've managed to accrue. 56 isn't great, and I risk losing this named NPC character, but I'll take it anyway because I have so many other dragons from the village there, and it paid off. Okay, so I have 2 out of my 3 dragons. I've already reached the palace. There goes the 3rd one. And so now I can make my final attack. Okay, so because I've been using the dragons from the settlement, and I've kept this dragon alive, which I got from resolving encounters, and I have all these guys, this fight should be really easy. Not saying I can't lose, but I feel like I'll be fairly embarrassed if I do lose at this point. If I do, though, I just need to retreat back to the dragon settlement and wait for another 3 dragons to spawn, and I'll have another very good chance of winning the subsequent fight. So this is a little risky. I'm actually in bolt range on the elephant. This wizard could magic attack my elephant, and then the other could bolt me. So that's not a good way to play this. But I am feeling fairly confident with these 4 dragons that it's not going to be a problem for long. That's again rather a risky move. Let's cast some of these to protect me from the lion. I'm blindly clicking everything forward. I will stop doing that in the next turn and keep my wizards safe, because we really don't want the wizard to be attacked by anything, especially not this late in the game when I've basically won. And it's going to end up with me looking like an idiot if I end up dead. So I'm retreating my wizard, because I have enough of these guys to get the job done without my wizard. And I'll cast one of these to make everything more attacky. Okay, that dwarf's not really a big deal. Okay, and the palace battle's over, so I've beaten the realm in something like 40 minutes. And I don't feel like any of the fights were particularly challenging, because I made good use of the allies I got from resolving encounters, and good use of my mercenaries, and especially at the end I took the time to explore and use the dragon settlement to give me a lot of reinforcements. I hope you have found this playthrough helpful, and I hope you enjoy playing the game. Goodbye.